After a long battle, you and your opponent are both at a low life total. You control a 2/2 zombie token creature with Decayed, Mire Triton, a 2/1 creature with Death Touch, and Temple of Malice, a non-basic land. Your opponent controls Professor of Zoomancy, a 4/3 creature equipped with Trailblazer's Boots, which reads, "Uh-oh, equipped creature has non-basic land walk," and a 1/1 Pest token creature with the triggered ability, when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. It's their turn, they move to combat, and declare the Professor of Zoomancy as an attacker. You respond and cast Brawl, which reads, until end of turn, all creatures gain tap, activate. This creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature. The spell resolves. You tap the Mire Triton to brawl with the Professor of Zoomancy. Your opponent responds and taps the Pest to brawl with the Mire Triton in hopes to destroy the Mire Triton before it's able to destroy the Professor. Should you respond and tap your zombie token creature to brawl with the Pest? Or let the dust settle and see who's still standing? How does this resolve? In scenarios like these, understanding priority, effects, and the stack are crucial, especially when a player's life or the title of winner is at stake. Hi, my name is Lynn, and my focus is to teach you these concepts so that you learn it's not magic. Returning to the scenario, the player whose turn it is the active player. The active player begins the declare attacker step of the combat phase, and after attackers are declared, that player gains priority. A player with priority may cast spells, activate abilities, and take special actions. If they choose to do none of those things, the player passes, and then the next player in turn order gains priority. You cast Brawl, an instant. The spell is placed on the stack. In Magic, spells and abilities are placed on the stack. If all players pass in succession without taking any actions in between passing, the spell or ability on top of the stack resolves. After the spell resolves, priority passes to the active player. Your opponent passes, you gain priority. With priority, you activate the ability granted by Brawl on the Mire Triton and target the Professor of Zoomancy. The effect goes on the stack, like a spell, and each player has a chance to take action or pass. Your opponent responds by activating the ability granted by Brawl on the Pest and targets the Mire Triton, adding another ability on top of the stack. Priority passes around the table, and when all players pass, it's time to resolve ability on top of the stack. The effect, this creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature. The target, Mire Triton, is still a legal target and is marked with 1 damage. The Mire Triton is destroyed when priority passes to the next player. When each player passes, the next effect on the stack resolves. The target Professor of Zoomancy is still a legal target, but doesn't the Mire Triton have to be present? Once activated or triggered, an ability exists on the stack independent of its source. So destruction or removal of that source doesn't affect the ability. So in this instance, the source is no longer in the zone on the battlefield. The Mire Triton, we would use the last known values of the Mire Triton. So in this case, we would mark 2 points of Death Touch damage on the Professor of Zoomancy from the Mire Triton. The target Professor of Zoomancy is marked with 2 Death Touch damage. The Professor of Zoomancy is destroyed when priority changes. The combat phase ends if there are no attackers, and your opponent moves to their end step and passes their turn. On your turn, you deliver the killing blow with your 2/2 zombie token with Decayed. A quick aside about the effect, this creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature. And why, in this case, do we use the last known values when, say, the creature leaves the zone? This is very different than we would handle the wording for something like Blood Feud or Clash of Titans. In both of those cards, it says target creature fights another target creature. Clash of Titans is on the stack. The Mire Triton selected as one target, the Professor of Zoomancy for the other. Your opponent has priority and casts Pounce that targets their Pest and your Mire Triton. Both players pass. Pounce resolves. Because the target Pest and the target Mire Triton are valid. The Pest and Mire Triton are marked with damage and destroyed. When both players pass again, Clash of Titans does not resolve because the target Mire Triton is no longer valid. Thank you for watching. I hope you gained a greater understanding of priority, effects, and the stack, and that this knowledge will help you in future games. My name is Lynn, and remember, it's not magic.